Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, this is going to be a reading on Marjorie Taylor Greene and the benefits of being a patriot. So, as we all know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of the loudest and proudest patriots in the House of Representatives. Don't believe me? Just ask her. She'll tell you. And to show her patriotic chops, she posted up on the forum formerly known as Twitter, uh, saying the average age of the signers of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776, hey, she got the date right, was 44 years old, but more than a dozen were 35 years or younger. Who knew? So she lists them off. She lists off Thomas Jefferson, James Hancock, James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, James Monroe, Aaron Burr, Paul Revere, etc., 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 and George Washington. Because it's Twitter and people are smarter than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, I wouldn't have known this, but I'm also, I don't post on Twitter. The readers added some context. James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, James Monroe, Aaron Burr, Paul Revere, and George Washington were not signers of the Declaration of Independence. Oops! But, it's Twitter. And so why would you leave it there when you can just perfectly, just troll her while you're at it? One person wrote, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence just so I can personally show you who signed it. All right, good luck with that. Thank you for this, Senator. Here's a rip because she's a House member. And the final signature was applied by Ben Franklin, who was president at the time. Patriotic facts. But wait, there's more. Representative Jack Kimball, one of her fellow reps, trolled her. Hey, how did you forget Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan, and Ronald Reagan? Oh, and somebody else said, you're always on the wrong side of history. Oh, somebody else pointed out that Marjorie Taylor Greene works minutes away from the nation's founding document, so, easy enough to check. Now, my favorite, though, is Abraxas, and this is going to be the thumbnail that you see. Abraxas writes, Congresswoman, this bag of hammers is formally challenging you to a debate. Do you accept? James Fox at March shows us how much we need the Department of Education. Oh, good Lord. And it goes on and on and on. Here's a picture of the signers of the Constitution. It's got a picture of a T-Rex in there. AI is great too. Well, hello. Welcome to the channel, everybody. In case you were wondering what Nico's tail looks like these days, you now can have a late... Oh, come here, buddy. Where are you going? Nobody wants to see your butt. Yeah, man. Here, show me your face. There you go. I'm going to move you out of the way in just a second here. Yes, plop down, lounge around right in the middle of my... I haven't even started the reading yet. All right, let's get you moved over here. He's running into some slight problems here because the kitten, L, is on his favorite perching chair. So where am I supposed to read? You're in the way, dude. And then we get a kitty fight going on over here. You dare just walk past her. So I'll give you a little bit of kittenness in your life while I pontificate. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, apparently, studying history was not her strong point. History is hard. Facts are difficult. It's so much easier just to make stuff up and not be held accountable for it. But actually kind of makes me want to throw on Twitter at this point, too. And I only say that because remember once upon a time, Twitter was a great way to get information. Because you can actually, somebody posts up on Twitter and you can check it. And there were usually a lot of really intelligent people. There were bots on there and stuff like that. But you could usually swamp those out pretty quickly. And likely Elon Musk and others bought out Twitter because they couldn't control Twitter's narrative. When you want to be in charge, you need to control the news and the narrative. And with all these news agencies attacking Biden, they're all owned by like the same 9 companies, and they're all conservative news media. That they let the MSNBCs have their liberal agenda, but I guess now they want Trump to be president, and they figure maybe that he won't be a king, and they can make lots of money when he's around. So they're all trashing Biden, which is why you see MSNBC trashing Biden, and the New York Times trashing Biden, and CNN trashing Biden. You don't have to just go to Fox News. You can go to what would normally be reliable news sources of ours and watch them do the same darn thing. It feels like gaslighting because it is gaslighting. And I think that's one of the reasons why I get so worked up over this, is because I recognize gaslighting when I see it. I've experienced it. I've lived with it. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. And, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong in this case. But all that aside, I want to throw on Marjorie Taylor Greene just because I want to look at the energy around her after she finds out that, what she posted wasn't factually accurate. Does it even register with her? I mean, is she so stupid and so arrogant that, Dunning-Kruger, she's so far down the path of Dunning-Kruger that she just doesn't care if she's wrong. That's what I want to find out. Entertainment purposes only. Let's see what we got going on here. Foundation of the reading is the Tower card. Things crashing down quickly. Yeah, that's part of the problem when you post things that are factually inaccurate on Twitter, is that people will fact check you in a second. And I'm sure it wasn't long after she posted that up that she was fact checked to hell and back. And I wonder, I'll have to throw this on another one, what her fans, what the Maga folks think about that. But it's a Tower moment. Actually, I think she was embarrassed by this, to be really honest, if that makes any sense. Crossed with the Page of Swords, it just points out how rudimentary, childlike her intelligence is. Swords are about intelligence. Page of Swords is a young woman. And I'm not saying young women are dumb or anything like that, but she's 40-something years old. She's a House member. She's been a House member for 2 terms now. And I'm not saying that everybody who's intelligent knows who signed the Constitution. Heck, I don't know who signed the Declaration of Independence. I don't even know who signed it. I might have known about that in high school when I needed to know that, but guess what? I don't use that in my day-to-day life. I don't need to know that. But again, I also don't go around trying to flex my patriotic street cred to people. At least if I was going to post up people that were under the age of 35 who signed the Declaration of Independence, I would do a modicum of research to demonstrate that. Maybe you find a site where somebody's already done that work. Or you look up what were the ages of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence, and then maybe you fact check a couple of those to make sure the site you're getting the information from is accurate. Underneath it all is the Page of Pentacles. There's just, it's social media clicks. She doesn't care. There's no value in being factually accurate. Factually accurate doesn't work for her. It gets in the way of the story. In the past, the Queen of Cups. Honestly, she's like a little bully, but she's also really thin-skinned. She tries not to show it, though. But remember when Jasmine Crockett called her the 6 Bs? Bleach, blonde, bad-built, butch body? What did Marjorie Taylor Greene do for like the next week or two? Pictures of her, in sleeveless shirts or bikinis or working out or stuff like that to show that she didn't have a bad built, bleach blonde, butch body. It's like, why would you care? So it obviously does bother her to the point it's like she's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to get back at you. I'm going to pose a picture of myself in a bikini or something like that. It's like, it wasn't the flex she thought it was. Just saying. Current situation is the Page of Pentacles. You know, she doesn't much care about facts. It does bother her though. She's thin-skinned. I think this does bother her because, you know, it's a patriotic post that she got wrong. And she's trying not to show it. But there's some messaging here. Or she might pay somebody. You know, she might actually find some college student somewhere and offer him a grant to do some research for her next time so she doesn't repeat this mistake. I realize that does not sound like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I'm just gonna step out on a limb and say she won't do the work herself, so she's gonna have to pay somebody else to do it. Overarching energy, because learning is hard. You know, having to think up of a great patriotic post and actually do the work. Oh no no no! You pay somebody for that. No, overarching energy. Again, it's funny. She never shows shame, but I think this bothered her. I really think this bothered her. The lesson to be learned is like you're such a dumb cluck. She comes across as so simple, and again, you could be wrong on a lot of things, but you can't be wrong on being a patriot. You know, if you're gonna talk about your patriot cred and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, you gotta do better. Just like that one rep that trolled her. You know, you forgot that, forgot Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan, and Ronald Reagan. You know, just patronize her, the living bejesus out of her. The outcome is the Redneck Riot. Marjorie Taylor Greene may just do something else outrageous, just get loud in somebody's face or something along those lines, just to change the news cycle. So when I looked up Marjorie Taylor Greene news, it was filled with stories like this. You know, her screwing this up. And and if she doesn't go out and do something to change the news, this is going to be the only story about her for weeks, days to weeks, until she does something else. So I would expect that she might do something crazy, say something crazy, just so that she changes the cycle, so that when you do a Google search, it doesn't show her not being able to basically misrepresenting people who signed the Declaration of Independence. Something that would have been easily fact-checked. Would not have taken her much time at all. Now I might have to switch out the my thumbnail with this other picture. It's amazing. It's got a big old T-Rex on there. Oh, God. It's the joy of AI. Especially for those of us who are not artistically inclined. Okay, Maga faithful. Marjorie Taylor Greene's faithful folks here. How did they... Will they even be bothered by this? That's kind of what I want to know. Will they even be bothered by this? What do they think when, it's pointed out that she... they make excuses for her? I guess that's the question. Will they make excuses for her? How will they react to this? 5 of coins. Well, yeah, I think they will make up excuses for her. This would be one of those instances where they would say, well, I wouldn't have known who signed the Declaration of Independence, so that's okay by me. Now, I would agree. I don't know everybody who signed the Declaration of Independence. If you gave me a multiple choice test, I probably would fail miserably. And, but at the same time, if somebody's gonna ask me that, cold turkey, I tell them I don't know the answer to that. I don't need to know the answer to that. It doesn't impact my daily life. If you'd like me to know the answer to that, give me 20 minutes so I can, look it up and get some names down there and help you out with that. Or, here's Google. We'll find out together. I think they'll make excuse for it. They'll basically say, well, we didn't know it, so if we don't know it, she doesn't need to know it, and that's fine by us because she's family, type of thing. Crossed with the strength card. Yeah, it's just kind of circling the way. They'll say it's no big deal. It's no big deal, you know. Now, mind you, if a Democrat had said that, if Nancy Pelosi or AOC or whoever they hate this week said something like that, they'd have lost their minds. A person shouldn't be a congressman. It's the double standard here. But underneath it all, it's like, it's a really lazy mistake. I'll bet you if they were just talking amongst themselves and somebody said, yeah, I get it. We didn't study this. There's no reason to know this. We're going to stick together. But if one of these guys, these patriot dudes with his American flags on his truck and just said, she could have just looked it up before posting that. Just to confirm the names, it wouldn't have taken that much to double check that. And they would be like, yeah, they would quietly admit it to themselves, but they'll never let you know that they're thinking that way. In the past, the Emperor, they like her. They like how she's a bully in the playground. To them, again, she's their queen. She represents, I hate saying this because she did not grow up poor. She did not grow up poor. But she's like the queen of their rural neighborhood, shall we say. I'm trying not to be classist here. Yeah, they'll be disappointed with her. Come on, you could do better than that. They'd be more mad at her because it gave the liberals an opportunity to poke fun at her, and they have a hard time defending it. They can't ride to her rescue. I'm wondering, though. Again, she was a rich girl. I was saying, she didn't grow up poor and rural. She was a rich girl. She grew up with money and has family money. She's got millions of dollars in her coffers. So, this isn't. She presents as like their queen or their empress. If we got the emperor and the empress, she presents like this to them. But it's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump, for some reason, these folks, these yokels, think that Donald Trump is one of them, and he's not. They think of Marjorie Taylor Greene as being one of them. She's not. She comes from money, and she comes from family with money. She's about as opposite from them as they can get. But that doesn't mean they won't vote for her. It's like she's an honorary yokel to these folks. And she's accepted in their social group. That doesn't mean that Marjorie Taylor Greene would want to hang around with the social group, but you know what? She'd be more likely to interact and rile them up. I don't think she would patronize them like Trump would do if Trump were in that same situation. Okay. There's not much more. This is just a gossipy little reading here, and it's 18 minutes long, and that's about 16 minutes longer than it should be. We'll leave it at this. This is no big gaffe. This is just having some fun at her, and she's a little thin-skinned. Oh, that's what I wanted to find out before I sign off. Okay, for all those people that just jumped off thinking it was it, you should look at the thing. That's why it says 26 minutes on the bottom, not 18. Let's find out what the Redneck Riot was. That Five of Wands card. What might she, little four-carder, what might she do to try and change the news cycle? That at least is somewhat predictive, right? The whole point of this sometimes is just to challenge myself to see, can I predict? I like tarot. I like how it gives the background. It wouldn't have occurred to me that she might be a little bit embarrassed by that. And maybe she might pay for a service or something along those lines to fact check herself so she doesn't do something embarrassing like this again. How might she, though, change the news cycle here? Okay, we're going to talk about something being stolen, sneaking around. Okay, just a four-carder here. The truth is going to be out about either somebody's infidelity or their crimes being committed She's going to try and do it from a position of strength. So this would be like maybe Bob Menendez's trial is coming up here. Oh, and there's a betrayal too. And the 7 of coins. Okay. The safest thing that you could do is try and say, go after Biden. Biden's the news media punching bag these days. Everybody's on the attack. So she's going to go on the attack on somebody in an effort to deny somebody something or talk about something like that. Saying that no, the truth's been exposed. If it was Biden, it's like, he can't do the job anymore. He's mentally not capable, and the Democrats really need to think about what they're going to do. And they should get rid of him while they can still get rid of him. They got time and get a new candidate in there. But there's no sincerity behind it. That would be one way she would try and change the news cycle. She's never gone after Mike Johnson. And that was the other thing. She's been awfully quiet on Mike Johnson here. Trump told her to knock it off, and she did. But remember, she wanted Mike Johnson gone something fierce. She said she was going to vote to remove him. And, she was going to work on that. Now, her efforts didn't really go anywhere, but it had to do with that budget. She said she was going to do it because he betrayed her. Okay, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for any involvement with her and Mike Johnson or somebody like that. But I'm saying Mike Johnson because I had done a reading previously with Mike Johnson, and when he was passing the budgets and doing the stuff for getting the money out to Ukraine and such. Right after that, she was going to take him out, and she started making moves that way, and it didn't go anywhere. And then Trump told her to knock it off. But she might still be stewing a little bit on that one, waiting for a moment to strike on him, because she doesn't let things go. You know what I mean? She's a mean girl, and she's had to sit and stew on this one for a while. And it's going to make Mike Johnson feel like he's got a victory on her. And she's not the type of person who can handle that sort of setback. It needs to be. She's like Trump. Things need to be avenged, and they need to be avenged immediately and with overwhelming force. Not a measured response, but an overwhelming response, so that they'll learn never to do such things like that again. Now we'll go ahead and sign off on this one. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.